Hundreds of agriculture students are at the Missouri State Fair, but they're not going on rides or eating fair food. They're there packing meals for the hungry. Our Missouri Capitol reporter Hannah Falcon has more.
Missouri's biggest food drive getting even bigger this year as hundreds of FFA students are here at the Missouri State Fair aiming to pack 250,000 meals for hungry Missourians.
Let me hear you. Are you ready to pack some meals?
Missouri's Future Farmers of America are teaming up with Missouri Farmers Care to feed the food insecure. Missouri FFA State President Ellie Samick explains feeding the hungry is a core tenet of what it means to be a farmer.
Agriculture is the backbone of our American economy, and any opportunity that we have as members of the FFA or as citizens of our state of Missouri to give back and just continue serving and building our next generation is going to be what's going to push us into the future.
1 in 6 Missouri children don't know where their next meal is coming from, according to Feeding America, a nonprofit group of 200 food banks. A fact Governor Mike Kehoe emphasized when he joined in on the packing efforts.
The need for food and hunger is unfortunately real in Missouri. What you're doing today makes an unbelievable impact to thousands and thousands and thousands of Missourians.
FFA students aren't the only group at the state fair feeding the hungry. Missouri's 4-H clubs also host a large food drive, this year feeding 250,000 Missourians as well. Their efforts focused on rural areas where food insecurity is the worst, as Alyssa Laporte explains.
These are rural clubs, so they are feeding their neighbors, and some kids are donating and then receiving that back themselves. And so I think that's really beautiful.
As part of the food drive, anyone attending the fair Tuesday can get free admission with the donation of 2 non-perishable food items. Reporting at the Missouri State Fair, I'm Hannah Falcon.